what a sweaty it is in here. Hi. Welcome to episode one of The Making of a Monster. This is going to be my latest film project. As you can see here, I've got a disgustingly rip-off version of a Venom mask. This is made out of paper mache, and you can't even see that it's got pupils until I do that. It does have pupils in the eyes. Lights up. I have made this out of nothing but tin foil, some cardboard, um, paper mache, and then we've got the most expensive thing, polymorph plastic, which has been used for the teeth and for the eyes, and a little bit of latex with some flour for the gums as well. If you've seen some of my videos on YouTube, you may be aware of the monster series. You got the monster under the bed, the monster in the shed, and the monster in the attic, which is the one what I released last year. I am now working on the sequel to the Monster in the Shed, because the Monster in the Attic was a prequel to the Monster Under the Bed, and then the Monster in the Shed was the sequel to the Monster Under the Bed, and now we're making the sequel to the Monster in the Shed, which is the Monster in the House. Do you get that? You get that. Yeah, so this is the face of the monster, because you're actually going to get to see the monster in this next movie. So here it is. I had a bit of criteria. One, your head needed to fit in it. Two, had to have a movable jaw, and of course, the only thing you actually ever see of the monster, other than the claws, is the eyes. So they had to have glowing blue eyes, which I have achieved all of my goal, and here is how I made that happen.
Right, so I started making the mask using aluminum foil. As you can see, made it perfectly mold my face, and then I covered it in scotch tape. But it didn't quite cover my nose, so I've added on this extra bit of aluminum foil, and now I have to cover it in scotch tape. However, I have run out of scotch tape, so luckily I work at a craft shop, so I'll be able to purchase some later. But for reference, this is what the mask is looking like right now. So I updated my helmet. It's no longer just tinfoil and a bit of tape. Got some cereal boxes to harden it. And I put some magnets here. Then I got some craft wire using boxes, covered it in scotch tape to create this. It's got a little platform as well. And if I show you, I won't be able to see, so I don't know how good this camera angle is going to be. There should be a magnet. Yeah. And there. So yeah, so I am going to be building up the face, layering it, putting the details of one, and then taping it up with masking tape, just like the jaw all over here, building up. So yeah, that is stage 2. I should have done on stage, like just this, but yeah. So, part 3 of making my mask. And here it is. This is the head of the beast. It has a slightly pointed snout. It's rounded because I wanted the shape to look like sleek and rounded. I didn't want it to be like pointed and jagged. So, now that is your monster's face. Got a nice thick underbelly here, which will be perfect for the teeth. So basically all of this is going to be like full of like teeth, like sharks or like venom, which is kind of what I'm basing the shape of the face off. Then also we got this, which is the jaw. We've got a nice platform for my jaw to sit on, and it connects via magnets. So if I can find the magnet, sit one here, one here. So yeah, this is mask at the moment. It no longer looks like a Freddy Fazbear cosplay. So I have done the basic shape of the monster, and this is what it's going to look like, kind of. So we got the eyes holes, and obviously I'm not going to actually be able to see out of these holes. These are going to be covered. So what I can actually see out is these nostrils, which is why they're like that. You can kind of see out of them. I can kind of see, especially this one here. The jaw, I'm going to put some foam on so it can actually connect to my actor, because, like, unfortunately, I won't be wearing this mask. It will be my monster actor, who is in fact my brother, and we have similar sized heads, so it does fit him. We have tested it. But yeah, this is my mask at the moment. I'm gonna paper mache it, then paint it black, because I mean at the moment it looks like Jack Skellington. Now it's time to paper mache, and this is going to be the long, tedious and boring bit. Alright, so we have finished the paper mache now. Done the jaw separately to the actual mask, and I've done the contour of the nose a little bit more in depth, so that just making the gap between the eyes and these nostrils a bit more clearer, just so that we can have like a clear, like, basically block between the whole of this eye and the nose. That's basically so that when I put the light in there for the eye to shine through, I'm hoping, because of this blockage here, that the light won't shine through the nostrils, because obviously the actor needs to see out of these nostrils. Yeah. Mask is in paper mache. This will allow me to paint it and then make the eyes, the teeth, everything else can happen after this dries, basically. Okay, so the paper mache has dried, and the mask is... there's a problem. So here's the problem we have. Now that it's paper mache, it no longer has the freedom to go up and down, and the jaw disconnects on one side. Meaning the entire point of the mask is now ruined. So I'm gonna have to fix that. So here's the other problem I'm facing, and that is that the jaw is having a hard time actually connecting. Right, so I have re-paper mached the mask just for the inside bit from where I cut away. I have painted a second layer on to this. I will probably paint another layer onto it, but yeah, it's going pretty well. I'm waiting for the paper mache to dry so I can paint over that, then paint another layer onto this, and I have finally replaced the magnets with button poppers, as you can see here. So it's a bit stronger, less likely to come off. Okay, so the glue at least has dried, so I've just put on the mask now. And it's a little tight around the jaw, not gonna lie, but it is much more of a better fit now. This is the gap I'm going to have for the teeth here. So obviously I need them interlocking, maybe some teeth in front, some teeth behind, just so that, you know, when it's closed, it's like, you know, so the actor can close their face, basically, their mouth. Yeah. Okay, unfortunate side effect to using button poppers. They don't like to stay on. They are very, very strong, and it has broken on my mask. So yeah, I'm gonna have to try and fix that now, and even though I glued it with my super strong glue, it clearly wasn't strong enough. So right, so I've got the polymorph now, and what I'm using is I'm putting it into this boiling water, and basically it turns from these white beads into this moldable plastic, and then I'm molding it into this. It's going to be the teeth. And it dries very quickly. It turns white and clear very quickly, which is very nice. However, it does mean I need to mold them quickly. So like these pieces, luckily, all I have to do is just pop these back into the water to remold them basically. But yeah, I'm going to be making a lot of these teeth. So, and then I'll stick them on my mask. Right, so mask is currently drying. I have done my liquid latex mixed with flour to get all the teeth in. And you know what? It's looking pretty darn good. Obviously, I'm letting the gums dry right now, but I love the way how the teeth perfectly interlock like that. So, you can reveal. I am obviously going to let the latex dry, and then when it's completely dried, I'm going to remove all the teeth, paint the gums, put the teeth in, super glue it. But yeah, just the look of this mouth right now is like, it is really stunning to me. So we have been doing some painting. I have let the silicone dry, and I have painted the gums a nice red. I mixed red with a bit of blue, some yellow, and some white. Mixed it all together until I just got a color that I was happy with. Then I got some watered down red and yellow, and I just basically smudged that on with my finger, just here, there, and everywhere. I also, so to make sure the teeth went in the right places, I taken them out in a particular order and then setting them down in that exact same order so I can then put them back in the same order. And I've realized I got some super glue right there on my nose. That's nice. And now I'm rubbing it with some paint. Beautiful. So yeah, I've done the bottom jaw. Going to be doing the top jaw now. And yeah. Here it is. Glowing eyes and all. Obviously, we're going to have like a line here. Basically so we can get like the eyes. But yeah, this is what it's looking like. Obviously, we're seeing a bit of the glow at the teeth, which I don't mind. I haven't got the top gums in yet because quite frankly, I ran out of super glue. So I've laid all the teeth out on the table. I've put some like yellow in and a bits of blood on some of them. The eyes are made out of the same plastic as the teeth, so polymorph, and I've just spread it really thinly along here and along here, molded it into the shape of the eye. Obviously you can see they're not stuck in right now. This literally was, I just did this just to show the progress. So yeah, the mask on the inside not looking very pretty, but this is what it is. So what we're using for lights, so I found these little touch lights here, and I'm going to be sticking them on the inside of the mask like so. Obviously what this means, the problem with this is the sensor is on the front of the light, not on the back. So unfortunately I have to, when filming, I'm going to have to like tap these lights on and then plug them in. I have got multiple of the lights, which is a good thing, but yeah, it's a little bit of a nightmare to try and do that because I'm going to be constantly removing the helmet from my actor. So just want to add, I did also glue some nice foam padding onto the back of the chin just to make it a bit more comfortable for obviously the actor when he's wearing it, and also it provides this extra bit of thickness so the jaw better fits the actor. Okay, so the mask is close to being done. I've got the teeth in, and as you can see, the jaw moves with my jaw. Now, here's the problem. I can't see out of this thing. The eye holes are here, which is the top of my head, so I need to look down like this to be able to see out of them. I can see out the teeth just fine, but obviously this is going to all be covered up. It's meant to be moved down. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to cut out more of the inside of the helmet to provide more space for my head to move so that I can actually wear the actual helmet. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've had a bit of a rough day regarding my mask. Been a bit tired, been a bit stressed, overworked, and I really wanted to readjust my mask because it was really tight to fit on. So I removed a whole bunch of the inside, and that was a good decision to make. It's really good, but I wanted to redo the eyes because it's really hard on the temples. I destroyed the inside of the nose here, so you can actually see it from a lower visible angle. But I made an eye, and it was a really good eye. I was really proud of it. But the thing, just the light got stuck in it, and this has just been put in water. I'm definitely, that light is destroyed, and it's a good thing I got multiples, but I've literally just wrecked my mask trying to undo the mistake I made, and it sucks. It really does suck. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to start again.
So yeah, after redoing the eyes, I managed to stick on these little sticker bits to give it some pupils, which on camera you can't actually see. Just kind of scary, kind of a plus, kind of a negative. To attach the eyes actually inside, I just got this black card here that's just acting as a flap. And the lights, which are here, I'm just turning them on, and then I'm just popping them face down into the eye hole like that, then lights up the eye on the other side. And then the only way, the reason these don't fall out when wearing the mask is because your sides of your face, your cheeks, are pushing against these flaps, preventing them from opening. So there is no way these lights can actually fall out when the mask is on. And then, of course, with the black bandana, you can't actually see my face when the jaw is actually moving. So there we are. This is the mask of the monster. I am quite proud of it. It's not the prettiest thing. It's got like this rough, bumpy texture, but that could be the skin texture. I followed a tutorial on how to make a venom mask to make this, and I will link that in the description below. If you want to make your own monster mask. Thank you so much for watching. And now I need to make the stilts of the monster because it is way taller than a human. So stay tuned for part two, and then eventually the movie will come out. Players to the previous movies are obviously here, so yeah, watch those before you watch the sequel to them all, and yeah, enjoy. Is that the bike